Hi, this is Fred from MyTraderCards.com. In this video, we'll walk you through the steps to get your team set up on our website. If you're with Wilsonville Little League, just click on the Wilsonville Little League button on our homepage to find a step-by-step guide to get you going. Okay, so the first step is to register on the site. So we'll start by clicking the Register button and selecting a username and a valid email address. Now this is required in order to keep out bot traffic and to keep people from tampering with your content. So we're not going to sell that to anyone or spam you. We'll only use it to help you make trader cards. So enter a password, and then you'll have a CAPTCHA here to again help prove that you're not a robot. So we're going to enter that information and click the register button. And if all that was successful, you should get these green boxes. And the site will generate an email to the email address that you provided. So here's what that looks like. So you'll click into that mail, and there'll be a link here that you follow to verify your email address is valid. So you can see we got a success message here. So this tells us that you have successfully registered on the site. So we'll go to the login page, and there we are. Now when you log in, you'll be taken to a page called the user dashboard. Since this is our first time logging in with this new user, it's not very interesting, but there's more stuff that gets added here as you set up your team and progress through the process. So you'll start by clicking on one of these buttons depending on which league you're involved with, and this will take you back to the setup page. Now, one thing you'll notice here is that the options on the top of the page are different now that you're logged in, right? So when we first went to the site, we only had a couple of options, and now that we're logged in, we have more options. So that's one thing to notice there. So we've registered already. Now we're going to select our team. So what we can do here, and I'm just going to move that up there. What we can do here is select the organization that we're part of, right? So let's say it's Wilsonville Little League, and select the division that your team is part of, and the team that you are a part of. And once you've selected a team, this button becomes active, and you can click that to add that team to your My Teams list. Now, if you have players that are part of multiple teams, maybe you have 2 kids, maybe you're a photographer for more than one team, you can just add additional teams here in the same way, and they will be added to your team list. Okay? So if we go back to our user dashboard, which is accessible by going to Home and Dashboard, we'll start to see some more information is now available. So by selecting that team, the website knows that we're part of Wilsonville Little League, and it's listed here some news that's associated with Wilsonville Little League. It also has a list of, this is the My Teams list, so every team that you've added to the list will appear here. And then it has the list of players for that team, and you can see the progress for all of the content for each of those players. And since we haven't submitted anything yet, it's all 0 at this point. Okay, so we have logged into the site. We've set up a team to be part of our My Teams list. And the next step is to update the player data. So if we can go back to our setup guide by clicking on this button, and you can see the next step in the process is to change your team name. So this is the default team name that we set up when we loaded the site with the Wilsonville Little League data. And this is exactly the way that it will appear on the trader cards when they're printed. So maybe we just want that to say Angels and not have all that other text. So we'll make that change here and click this button. and then the team name has been updated. So we can go back to our dashboard. Okay, and we can see that the team name is changed in the My Teams list, just as we would expect it to. Okay, now there's one last step to take care of before we're finished with setup. So we'll go back to our handy step-by-step guide, and we will update the player data. So what we're trying to do here is go through the players one by one and make sure that we have their names spelled right in the way that the parents would want them to appear on the cards. So you can see I can click player by player and go through this, and the data is coming up here. So I noticed that maybe Jacob Keller, his last name is spelled with a lowercase k. So I'm going to make that change here, and maybe Jacob goes by Jake. So we'll make that change and just click the Update Player Data button. Okay, and now Jacob Keller is Jake Keller. You can see that it updated in the list here. We also have options to enter a player's nickname if they go by some name that their teammates have made up for them. And if there's a position that they especially like, we can enter that here, and their jersey number. Now, these fields are all optional, and they don't print on every card template, but some templates do support them. So if you have the data here, then those templates can take advantage of that data. Okay, there's one more detail here that I want to bring to your attention. Some parents don't like to have pictures of their kids taken and published in any public way. So for parents who do not want to participate in the program, we have a way to support that through what we call our photo waiver. So those parents can send an email to fred@mytradercards.com and request that their child not be a participant in the Trader Card project, and we will make the necessary settings in our database to make sure that no cards are printed for that specific player. Okay, so now we're all done with our team setup. So to recap, we have created a login account, we have selected a team and renamed the team to whatever name the kids have chosen or the league has chosen. We've updated the player data so that every kid's name is spelled the way their parents want it to be. And we are all ready to upload content and start making trader cards, and we'll cover that in the next video. Thanks for watching.